Okay guys, now I'm going to practice this cast curve into the Excel sheet. These are the same cast curves what we have seen in the last video, and now I'm practicing these cast curves into the Excel sheet. I'm opening the Excel sheet, and I would try to make all these graphs into from Excel sheet. So this is the same cast schedule what we have we seen in the last video. So I am just minimizing it just to get the picture of Excel sheet and as well as the cast schedule. So here for drawing the graph into the this Excel canvas, first of all I have to make a graph area, and I can see that the we are having 11 up to 11 output level starting from 0, but I would not taking the start from 0. I would taking start from 1, because by default the first by default the graph would be graph would carry the 0 value, and first row would be for the label. So that's why I'm specifying the first row for the label, and rest I'm taking this canvas or this scale or this area up to the 12th row, because I'm having the 11 at the maximum value. So I have drawn the area, and now I'm inserting my graph type. I would be following the line graph, simple line graph. This canvas has been drawn in the Excel sheet, and if you want to do by yourself, you can see this video by taking pause and by rewinding all all these practices. So in the first column I would like to put the quantity, that is the quantity level, and in the second column I would like to having the total fixed cost, and in the third column I would like to have the total variable cost. And quantity, as I know, as we know that we are having from 0 to 11. I've already told you that I would not be putting the value 0, because 0 would be the default value from the graph. As you can see this, that the origin value is having obviously the basic 0 value. So I am starting from 1, then 2, then 3 up to 11. I'm just making the block of this and just dragging it up to the 12, which gives me the maximum 11 value of the product. Now I will putting this fixed cost as 60 as a constant for the all 11 values. So I am just putting the 60 and just dragging it down to the last level, and this is a fixed cost. And you see that this blue line is representing the total fixed cost, which is remain constant from 0 level to the 11 output level. So this variable cost is as same as we have seen in the last graphs. Now I'm putting the variable cost. So variable cost is starting variable cost is, I'm not putting the 0, because 0 variable cost referring to the 0 level of output, and here we are not having the 0 level of outputs. We will be starting from the first unit of output, that is 45. So I'm starting this 45, then I will be putting all these value one by one, and all of you students should see how the curve moves along with the axis. That is very important and interesting work to learn. So this by putting 60, I can see that the variable cost is starting from first output, then it goes to the 60. It is looking just like in a straight line, but I know we have seen that this average variable sorry, the total variable cost is not the straight line. It will be turning up and down. So this movement and this behavior would be very important to be seen. In next, I am putting the 72, as in the table it is seen, that is a 72 for the third item. I am putting 72, and now you can see the little bit turn and tilt towards downward of the total variable cost. And if I continue putting values, so this curve is tilting more and more on the left side, and left side movement is normally considered as the negative kind of movement in the curve. So we can see that the curve is having some kind of negative behavior or negative kind of movement. Negative not in the sense that the curve is a negative kind of function from left to right downward, but this curves, if it is moving somewhat tilting towards the x-axis, so it means that it is having some kind of negative behavior. Anyway, so I'm going again. This is 90, and now you see that this 80 till the 80 this curve was bending downwards, but after that it comes again reversing it to the tilting upward. So if I'm going to put more values, you will see that this curve will be increasing with the upward behavior. 102, then after that it is 116, then it is 136. You can see the curve is moving. This orange line is moving. First, if it moved a little bit bent on the downward, it was some kind of negative behavior, but now it is moving, is bending such like an upward movement, which may be said as a positive kind of behavior. So 136 and 162, and then it is 176, if I'm not wrong. 136, 162, 162, yes it is, and this is 200, and the last value is 242. So you see that how this total variable cost moves along the axis. First, it little bit tilting and bending towards x-axis, which I've called that the negative kind of behavior of the curve, and then it start increasing kind of behavior, which I can take it as a positive behavior. So in that curve, I have seen three kind of movements. If you focusing on the graph, it is having three kind of movement. Starting, it was in a straight line. It is having a linear kind of function in start, but then it goes to bend to the x-axis, what I have called it as a negative kind of movement, and then it again start increasing and up to the increasing kind of behavior, which I which I told you just as a positive kind of behavior. So in one curve, I am having three kind of behaviors. What was the straight line, what was the negative kind of movement, and what was the one was the positive kind of movement. So it is very clear about the curve after seeing the curve, that the mathematical expression of this curve is, if it is being established, it would be having these three kind of movement into the mind. Okay, I'll explain it this mathematical expression later on, but right now we are putting simple values of the total variable cost into the axis, and that's how we get such kind of curve. So now I have put all the total fixed cost and total variable cost, and by adding these two costs, I will be getting the total cost curve. So I am just adding these values. So by equation sign mean that I am putting the formula, and clicking the total fixed cost, plus I am clicking the total variable cost, and just entering, I am getting the sum of these fixed cost and variable cost as 105, and just dragging down or double clicking this column gives me the total cost curve. And for having the graph, as you see that the area of this graph we have established for these three columns, but now I want to put the fourth column into it. So just again I'm clicking out of this box or out of this text, so it is a normal kind of click, but if I click on this clipboard, so that shows me that graphed area. Just hold this corner of this area, you can see that the blue box, teeny blue box in the right down side, just holding it you'll see that plus sign moves into this kind of double arrow. I'm just holding it and taking it to the this column. So that gray line would be the total cost. The total cost is shown as gray line, total variable cost shown as the orange line, and total fixed cost is shown as the blue line. So if I see in the bigger canvas, it is very much same alike curve as I shown you in the this kind of curves I've told you in the graphs, and you can see these graphs and these graphs are the same, because same values and same figures we have put in the in this Excel sheet. Thank you very much. We'll see in the next video.